Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm very happy to have you here. We are going to dive right in with your reading. See what messages that we have for Pisces, for the Pisces Collective. What is in Pisces' highest and best good to know today, please, Spirit? If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I'm very happy to have you here. If you're returning, if you're a subscriber, if you regularly leave comments, like, and share my videos, I just want to say thank you so much for your support. Just keep in mind, all of you, that these are general readings, and so we just take what resonates and we leave the rest. Wow, you know, this is giving me the vibe. You're getting passion and workaholic from the chakra deck. And this is really giving me, when you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life. And, wow, it feels, Pisces, like you're aligning a few things here. You may be getting a new job, or you may be getting a new opportunity, or this may be a time where you really do make a decision to go ahead and follow your passion, or to see where something could go, or if something has a earning potential. For some of you, this may be a creative endeavor. When we follow our passions, we tap into something different. And it's not to say that, you know, I really like to bake, and my husband will take my baked goods to work because we don't want to eat them all, right? And people will say, oh my gosh, you know, your wife could really start a business doing baked goods and stuff. But, and I always think, oh, that's such a high compliment, but I would never consider turning my baked goods into a business, because I like to just make whatever I like to make whenever I like to make it. Like, not everything is meant to be something that supports us or something that earns us something, anything other than the pleasure of doing it itself. I also, you know, I have a neighbor who's sick, and I like to take them baked goods. Like, I like the joy that it brings other people to have homemade baked goods. And I also like the joy of seeing improvement in my work. And so this can be, for some of you, where a hobby is really taking off, or a passion is really taking off, and it's not meant to be a way of making income. I can see it or feel it both ways, where, you know, sometimes you just have an extreme interest in something. And like for me, tarot, I've always been interested in things that have been thousands of years old, like yoga, like tarot, like, you know, all of these things. I feel like for them to have survived, they have to have meaning and merit. There has to be something there. So I remember when I first really was getting into tarot, I read voraciously everything that I could find. I watched videos of other people's explanations of cards. I meditated on the cards and got my own explanations of their energy. I read for myself. I read for my friends. I put forth a ton of energy into it. I mean, I remember actually at one point, I really wasn't even sleeping that much because I was just so into it. You know, I was just so fascinated by it, and I just knew I didn't have enough time in this life to learn everything that I wanted to learn, or to experience everything I wanted to experience when it came to it. And never in a million years did I think that I was going to be having a YouTube channel and reading tarot on there, but it took that path. Like, nature took its own course. COVID happened. I was a photographer that worked out of state in New York City, and New York City theater basically shut down. So my daughter was like, oh, you know, what are you going to do? You're such a workaholic, you know, you can't just sit here and wait for, you know, it to reopen. And she started an Instagram page for me. And that is actually how the whole thing began. And then people would say, oh my gosh, I wish you had a YouTube channel. I would watch your videos, da da da. And so then I was like, okay, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Anyway, this is how I've ended up here. And it may be that some type of path like that is kind of opening for you, Pisces, to sort of go in a different direction, or, you know, something that, you know, it's like really taking seed or really taking root for you, and it's going to explode, or it is leading somewhere beyond where you really imagine it leading beyond, you know what I mean? But it is an expression and a journey of passion first and foremost, I feel like. You know, if ever I am really in a space where I'm like, I just don't have it in me to read tarot cards, or I'm just not in a good energy today to read tarot cards, I won't. I just don't do it. Because I don't want to bring that to it. You know, I want it to always be something that I'm doing for the love of it, for the joy of it, for, you know, the exploration of what is available and what is out there, and the energetic universe, and my own intuition, and, you know, fostering relationships with all of you. So, you may have something that you have kind of had an interest in or been pursuing that is turning into more, or is actually like, I see something like opening up, or like a path opening up, or there being multiple things you could do with it. For others of you, this may be a moment where you're like, you know what, I've always had an interest in this, or I've always wanted to sort of go in this direction. I'm finally taking the plunge. I'm finally doing it. And for some of you, it may have nothing to actually do with, you know, making money or building some kind of business or turning it into some kind of career. It may be that this is something to protect. This is something to just always do for the joy of it, like baking for me, or, you know, growing my house plants, or yoga. Even though I'm a certified yoga instructor, I don't, you know, actively teach or try to earn a living with that certification. I think it's about, you know, just pursuing what it is that sets your soul on fire right here, Pisces. You guys, with this freaking Band-Aid. Oh my gosh, literally, I'm like, with this Band-Aid is making it so hard to shuffle. And the top card that comes out is Wound. Yeah. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. This is so amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Wow. Pisces, you know, there is some energy here of something that starts off as a wound. And, you know, sometimes we don't make time to listen to our bodies, or we don't make time to kind of really care for ourselves. Maybe we just don't have it. Maybe we get up in the morning, you know, we do our routine, we go to work, we come home, things are expected of us, there are demands placed on us. We just don't have time to think about ourselves. A lot of times that is a time when we will get an injury. It's like life telling us to slow down, to stop and smell the roses, to take care of ourselves, that we are doing too much, or we are trying to take on too much. I actually see that here. There is, you know, if you've been in a narcissistic relationship, or you had a narcissistic parent, a lot of times you are really taught to prioritize someone else's feelings over your own, or someone else's needs over your own, because you're always trying to like placate the narcissist. You're always trying to keep that toxic situation in a space where it's manageable. And so sometimes you don't speak up about what you need, or that you can't manage this, because it's only going to make it worse. It's only going to intensify the problem for you. And there's something here where it's like, so instead of, you know, trying to fix the problem or trying to bring resolution to the problem, it's like we sort of run from it. We can only do that kind of thing for so long, prioritize other people over ourselves, and run from, you know, having to confront or having to deal with the intensity of a conflict. And so there's something here where we got to listen to ourselves. We got to speak for ourselves. There's something here. Okay, we'll probably see this somewhere else. But what's really beautiful, what is really, really beautiful is situations like this teach us things, you know. Remember yesterday there was that Three of Swords card, and it was like, this relationship gave you nothing but suffering. You know, it didn't ever materialize into something solid and stable. It just perpetually kept you in a state of suffering, or trying to not suffer. And so it may be that some of you are getting out of this relationship, or have gotten out of this relationship, and you are a bit wounded. It's important to listen to that wounding, right? It's important to kind of go within and do the heal, to nurture it and give it what it needs. You know, especially if your emotional needs, like if someone told you how you feel doesn't matter, or isn't legitimate, or doesn't count on some level in some way, it's time to go back to those spaces and say, all right, what did I need? What was I lacking? How did it feel? Why was that so traumatic? Or, you know, what, like, to listen to yourself, to listen to your own needs in that moment, and to give yourself what you needed, you know, to allow yourself to have needs, to allow yourself to receive the care that you needed, and give the care that you have given to other people to yourself. You're going through some kind of enlightenment and some kind of expansion here that you are putting into practice. Like, you are starting to really be able to, in the moment when things are happening that may be triggering, or things are happening that you may have really allowed yourself to identify with, you may be taking an approach where you're not taking it personally, and while you're keeping some distance from it, and you are listening to how it's affecting you on the inside, but you're not reacting, you are responding in a healthy way. You're not responding to the person themselves and what they're projecting. You're listening to yourself and what's happening within yourself. Where the wound is that is being triggered, or where the hurt is that's being hurt on top of that. You are going, okay, what do I need? Where is this hurting me? And what can I give to myself to alleviate this pain, so that I don't react, so that instead I put into practice this healthy healing energy that I've learned. This is really, you have wisdom and intuition here. Pisces, you have learned, it's like what you have studied, what you have taken in from the outside, you really have, it's not just knowledge floating around within you, it's actually wisdom. It's actually something that you are integrating into your being in a way in which you're able to put it into practice in your life. It's not just that you're, oh yeah, I read this and I learned this and I can recite it and I can tell other people about it. It's like, no, I learned this, I sat with it, I allowed it to join me, I have taken it in, I have allowed it to expand my perspective and the way that I'm viewing things and what I'm viewing as important. And instead of me viewing the other person as what's important in the situation, I'm viewing myself as the most important person in the situation, and what is happening within me, and how can I listen to it so that I can learn from it, and so I can nurture it and give it what it needs so that the wound heals. And you know, I feel like this is an incredibly intuitive process, but it's probably also very much strengthening your connection with that high priestess within you, with your own intuitive abilities. The more we listen to ourselves and the more we get quiet, the more we tune out the outside world. The outside world, it is like a video game. It's something that's out there, like in front of us, throwing all these things at us so that we can learn, we can grow, we can have these experiences to become more enlightened. Really, those experiences help us to become seekers. It helps us to become curious about what is a different way to deal with this, especially when we're tired of suffering and we don't want any more suffering. Oftentimes that's the moment, you know, the tower falls and then the star card comes out, where we have this return of hope and optimism, and our belief and our faith is strengthened in something beyond us, but also within us. You know, we are made of stardust, right? And so there is this energy of not prioritizing the other, but prioritizing the self and putting into practice this wisdom that you have been acquiring. And really listening to yourself as you navigate. This is a very powerful, powerful place, Pisces. Like, this is a place where there's really nothing that life can throw at you that's gonna shake you. You're in the center of the Wheel of Fortune in this space. Life is going on up and down all around you. It always will be, it always is. But you are staying that pillar of consciousness in the center and focusing inward and focusing on healing those wounds, listening to your body, listening to yourself, nurturing those wounds, giving yourself more of what you need, prioritizing the self over the other in every interaction and in every, you know, circumstance and situation. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. Right or wrong are ridiculous. They really are ridiculous. It matters how you respond to what's in front of you. And, you know, a lot of times after arguments or conflict or after situations, it's like we want to be validated that, like, what happened to us was unfair or unjust. It really doesn't matter. It was what it was, right? But how we react to it, that is our soul's journey. That is, you know, the most powerful part of the whole thing, of the whole experience, of the whole opportunity, the whole lesson. The less we react, the better we are. It's a lot of times, it isn't even what happened to us. It's our own reaction that makes us worry and ruminate for days. Pisces, I definitely feel that you have... Bunchy, can you take your pig out into the hallway, please? Here, come here. Let me just take this out here. All right, so I feel definitely you guys have some kind of long-term relationship potential coming in here. And, you know, this is energy, and you can always, with a reading, if it's something that you're hoping to manifest or hoping to call in, you can always align with the energy. You have that power within yourself. She comes right back with the pig. This is interesting. This is really, really, really interesting. You know, I feel like you may typically have dealt with people that run away from problems, or that, you know, they don't maybe even have it within their own capacity to stay and work through something, or to work through something in a healthy way. They may be someone who is just really overwhelmed by conflict or by their own feelings. But it's like this dynamic, it keeps leaving you feeling abandoned, or possibly even questioning your worth or questioning your value if you're not worth staying and fighting for. And again, I know you know this, but it is not a reflection of your worth or value. It is a reflection of that person's capacity. What is a reflection of you is how you respond. And we can see you are making these really healthy, amazing choices. You are taking in new knowledge. And I think you may even be seeing an evolution in the way you're responding to things. I think that is kind of a big theme right now. Potentially even that could be connected to the Saturn, Neptune, Pluto retrograde, Saturn and Neptune in the sign of Pisces. But it's kind of like, I feel almost that you have made a decision. And it's like, I don't know if you have a vision board. I don't know if you're using mantras. I don't know if you're using Post-it notes. But there's something that feels very visual and very important about this energy of like, if you're not, maybe it's telling you you could. But it's like, I'm feeling like, make something permanent. Like I'm feeling the energy, like almost smelling permanent marker here. Like saying, I will not put myself in this situation again. I will not participate in this dynamic. I will not, what is this? Engage with this type of energy. I'm not going to set myself up to feel abandoned. And this doesn't mean abandoning love or abandoning being in a relationship or putting ourselves in an energy where we can't open up and we can't trust and we can't be intimate. It's not that. It is an energy of, we know when someone is broken. We know when someone is a project, see this shady card? It's like there's just parts of them missing. There are things that they don't say. I literally, right before I came on here, I saw a post or something, I think it was on YouTube, and it said, narcissistic men do not want to be husbands or fathers. And I don't know why, but I'm seeing that so hardcore right here. And keep in mind, this doesn't have to be gender related, or this could be even talking about your father, but it doesn't have to be like a man thing. It can be a woman thing too. It is just saying that not everyone, how I'm getting it is not everyone, I think we think that fundamentally at the core, do we all need a sense of connection? Yes. But do you know how many different types of connections there are? Narcissistic people have a tendency to only want the toxic kind of connection. And being a husband and a father, those are very profound and divine energies. Of course, everything is on a spectrum, but, when you see, like, I honestly, I look at my own husband and I just look at the way my kids absolutely love him and know that they owe him a debt of gratitude that they could never pay in this life, because he has just showed up for them on every possible level as deeply as he possibly can, and they know that. And as far as a husband goes, I feel the same exact way. So, I just, when I think of those words, husband and father, I don't think, sperm donor. I don't think, you have to honor and obey and respect me because I'm your father. Like, I don't think that type of energy. I think elevated, divine, like, in the truest sense of the word. And not everyone wants that. And sometimes people really show us that. They show us that in what they're missing. They're missing empathy. They're missing compassion. They're missing priority. They're missing, they're missing these hardcore pieces that are incredibly important to the entire picture. You can't show up as a husband or a father. And I don't mean to keep using those words, but I keep literally seeing that post. When you are lacking those things and, thinking that, okay, I can come in and I can show this person something that they've never seen before. And then if I show them that, then they're going to understand and they're going to respond by elevating to meet the occasion. We can't think like that. We got to stop thinking like that, because what happens is when you start putting this in this person's life, they do this. They run. And if you don't give them, they're always going to blame you, even if you don't give them a solid reason. I read this this morning also. You can be the juiciest, ripest, most beautiful peach in the world, but if someone doesn't like peaches, if they're not looking for a peach, you know what I'm saying? It's like, there is this energy with this card of like, never again. Never again. I'm not sacrificing my peace. I'm not sacrificing a moment of my life. I am not. Now, there is a difference when someone is running, like an avoidant type person who has empathy, who has compassion, who, literally the reason that they're running is because they get overwhelmed emotionally. This is something that, depending on who you are and what you're looking for in your life, you may decide to choose to go through that pattern with them, hoping that they're moving closer and closer to secure attachment style each time. But still, this isn't someone who's ready to be a husband and a father. This is someone who is still growing up, is still learning who they are and how to sit in their own skin and be okay with it. But Pisces, I see there is someone with intention coming in here, I feel like. Some of you, they may have already shown up. Some of you, they may be a past person. They may have been avoidant. They may be showing up saying, I want the sweet stuff in life. I'm ready to experience something good. I'm ready to receive and to give these gifts. I'm ready to be a partner and to, show up, really is what it is, I feel like. And it's like I'm doing it with a joyful heart. There's a different energy. And there's almost this release of anxiety and this energy of calm, I feel. But it feels like something that has definitely the energetic signature to last for a very long time here, Pisces. To be your forever. All right. For Pisces, I gotta do it. Can I get one on this Queen of Wands, please, Spirit? Okay. Pisces, this feels like someone who, I feel like for some of you, this is someone in your past. who things may have been moving ahead, and it may have felt like reciprocity, or it may have felt like there was a good back and forth, or like we're both kind of wanting the same things, we're feeling kind of happy, everything is moving forward, and then there was kind of some type of abrupt ending. This can also be a situation where there could have been a third party, and this person made a choice out of fear that they regret, and they are wanting to show you something different than what they showed you before. With the Eight of Pentacles showing up here, this person is working very hard to master themselves. With these two eights, this could be something that keeps coming around again and again and again. With the two fives, it could be something that, you know, has had to change over time through obstacle. Through difficulty. It almost feels like losing what you have in order to realize the value of it, or in order to even see what you have to work on or what you have to put effort into in order to have a different result. For others of you, I feel like this is a new situation. And I feel like it's a situation where you've spent some time with the Eight of Wands in reverse. This can be an energy that is happening within, where it's like, I'm clearing all the blockages. I am removing anything that would stand in my way. Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Wands in reverse. It's like I'm putting the work in. I'm being the worker bee to like clear up my hive, my home, my being. I'm very focused on this in order to be able to move forward successfully on the outside. I know that it begins with me being able to move forward successfully inside. With the Queen of Wands, this can be the energy of really focusing on what we want and manifesting it, creating it, pulling it into our lives. And this can be with the Five of Pentacles and the Chariot, letting go of fear so that we can move confidently in the direction of our dreams towards success and victory in all the things that we desire. And with the Lovers, there may be a heavy emphasis on a relationship or choosing healthy choices for ourselves. Okay, the Nine of Swords came out, and it came out, you know, spinning sideways. So this is something that's changing. You have the Six of Pentacles. So there's a fear that you'll never find anyone or anything that will be reciprocal or that will balance out with you. And this fear may be keeping you in a space of the Eight of Wands being in reverse, where we're not able to make progress forward towards success and victory. Fear is going to stop us every single time. Fear is like the number one blocker of our dreams. That's why they say everything you want is on the other side of fear. It's a very true statement. Another thing that I'm getting is that you may feel like with the Six of Pentacles, a lot of times I feel like this is the universe restoring our karma, or giving back to us some of the things that we have given out that have not come back to us from the places that we invested. And so with the Nine of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, this can be where you just feel like you have bad karma in this life, or you have bad luck in this life, or, you know, things aren't going to work out. When you're moving from that kind of space, that's what you're going to experience. For those of you, if this is a past person, the energy to me is someone who fears that they don't have enough to offer. Whatever the case may be with these two cards, this was coming out sideways, which means that it's an energy that's changing. The fear is waning. Wow, you're getting the Five of Cups again. You have it on the bottom of the deck, and you have it clarifying the Queen of Wands. You know, when we manifest from a place of things have not worked out for me, I have been gypped, I've been cheated, I've invested, I've given love unconditionally, it has never come back to me. I always get the short end of the stick, you know, kind of coming from that type of a place. Then we continuously manifest that type of stuff into our life. Despite what we want, despite what we're asking for, where our focus goes, our energy flows. And so if you have a fundamental belief that things don't work out for you, and that things are not ever equal in your life, or that how is it that I want to say, you know, that you're just unlucky, or that you just have bad karma, and you kind of look at your life as it is the proof that supports that hypothesis, then you are, for one thing, with the Hangman in reverse, we're denying ourselves the opportunity to get enlightenment from the situations, because what we're focusing on is a victim mentality of everything is happening to us. If you have that feeling, I honestly, like, cannot say enough. Like, my yoga teacher would always say, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you, regardless of what it is. It is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And there are just some things that she has said so much that it has just pounded it into my brain. And I think that when I first came into contact with that idea, it would, like, I didn't even realize how many things that I felt had happened to me. And that is the least empowered point of view or perspective you can have, regardless. Is it true? Like, did it happen to you? You know, okay, you know, yeah, I guess, you know what I mean? But we can't choose what life brings to our doorstep. We can only choose how we decide to look at it. And so when we say, you know what, that happened for me, like, I've shared this many times, but like, I didn't have the greatest mother in the entire world, you know? And having the opportunity to be a mother has really helped me to see all the ways in which it has helped me to have had a bad one to be a good one, or to be a better one, or to really push myself to be the best one that I can be from my place of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And like, had I not had, you know, we don't ever have the chance to go back and say, okay, pretend I didn't have that mom, pretend I had June Cleaver, you know, or, well, people used to call my mom June Cleaver. She was very June Cleaver-ish, but like very mean behind closed doors. people used to say that you could eat off my kitchen floor because it was so clean, like spotless. But the thing is, with this hangman, every experience that we have had is our teacher. Every experience, regardless, bad, good, otherwise, it's our teacher. And when we start saying it happened to me, we take away our power as a student, because we stop looking at where the gift is and what the good thing that can come from, whether it was a good experience or a not so good experience, whether we would like to relive it or not relive it. We deny ourselves the chance of finding that really amazing nugget that exists in there when we just simply simplify it or downplay it to the place of that happened to me. And when we are manifesting from this place of life happens to me, then we're just saying, I want this. And then we're saying, oh, I didn't get it, because that's life. That's how life is for me. That's been my experience of life. But just saying, I want this to the universe. How would you feel if you had someone doing that to you? I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. I'm doing absolutely freaking nothing. But I want this, I want this, I want this. You would be so annoyed. You wouldn't be able to stand it. You would just be like, oh my God, shut up. I do not want to hear this anymore. You know what I mean? So, and at some point, it's almost like wanting life to disappoint you. It's like it's like getting to a space where you're comfortable with life doesn't work out for me, and the way I feel comfortable is when I continuously prove that that's true. You know what I mean? Like, I want this, I didn't get it. See, life never works out for me. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, if you're doing something and it doesn't work, you have the opportunity to do it differently, or you have the opportunity to look at it differently, or to learn more about it, or to explore it in a different way, or to try something else. You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know why we're going into this so hardcore right here, but the Queen of Wands is really a manifester, and she really is someone who knows what she wants, and she's not chasing it, she's attracting it to her. But when she is in her weakest form, she sort of uses and manipulates and, can use her charm or her good looks to try to get what she wants without, like kind of by dangling a carrot, rather than by actually showing up in her true divinity. And sometimes we do that to ourselves. And so I don't know if this is you or your person, Pisces, or what it is, but with the Emperor here, there is an opportunity to take back control and to take a more empowered point of view, or this may be where we are taking control of the situation and we are stepping into our divinity and we are putting an end to this energy. It could be your person, it could be you, it could be both. But sometimes we do get really comfortable with our life sort of the way it is, even if it's miserable, because it's sort of the devil we do know versus the devil we don't know. And it's sort of like easier to say, well, I keep trying it and it never works for me, so when I also read this morning, hilariously, I mean, not hilariously, but it's just weird how everything I read this morning is like working into this reading, that if you only show up and you only believe that things are going to work out when there is confirmation of it in real life, like when things are, like, for example, as a YouTuber, right, a content creator, if I only showed up to the table when my numbers were high, when my viewership was high, when my subscriber thing was high, when my comment levels were high, when the comments were only nice and kind, like I would have given up a long time ago. A long time ago. You know, you have to show up regardless. And you know, a lot of times you have to believe when there's nothing there to support, when there's nothing there to say, oh yeah, you should definitely believe in this. You're just going on blind faith. That's why there is that phrase, blind faith, because that's what it takes a lot of the time. I don't know what all this is about, Pisces. All right. Okay, so the Ace of Cups, this is an energy that's spinning. So we have the Six of Lovers, the Lovers, and the Ace of Cups. All right, we have all of these came out in reverse. The Ten of Swords, the Moon, the Five of Swords, and the Seven of Swords, my Lord, with the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so yeah, you know, for some of you, this can be you or this can be your person. Please just know that throughout the reading, listen to your own intuition, take from this reading whatever you need to take from it or whatever resonates, right? And leave the rest. This is a huge energy of a lot of swords and the moon, okay? And so, and you have the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck, right? So there's this energy of needing to shift our mentality. And with the Three of Swords, the foundation of these thoughts come from our own suffering and are perpetuating our own suffering as thoughts do. Okay, again, every time this type of swords energy comes out, if you're feeling like this resonates with you, Michael Singer, I would totally look him up. I would at least try it. Because overthinking and anxiety because of our own thoughts is a real problem. And it's a real problem that like every human being basically is going to face at some point and has the ability to really help themselves with. And so I highly recommend Michael Singer. I'll also throw Mooji out there, Mooji. He does a lot of guided meditations that bring you back to yourself, which is not your mind, which is not your thinking and your thoughts that you think it is sometimes. And he's really brilliant. But it is with the Moon card bringing these thoughts into the light, revealing them, looking at them, and releasing them, letting them go. And with the Moon card here, this can also be talking about letting your subconscious out into the conscious mind so that it can be released. So a lot of times we will be thinking that our thoughts are all supportive and happy and honky-dory, but things aren't really working out, and our choices are deeply affected and impacted by our subconscious. Carl Jung would say, you know, some people call it fate, like our subconscious. I just totally butchered that. I feel like I just gave you the punchline of the joke before the joke kind of energy. But it's like, you know, people make decisions and they'll call it fate, but what it really is our subconscious mind and, you know, affecting our decision making. And so, you know, if someone here is someone who feels like I just have bad karma in this life, or, you know, life is just not good to me or for me or whatever, it happens to me, you know, that's coming from somewhere, right? Or if, you know, and it may be something that really shows up, but they're not really saying it. This can also be, right, our subconscious mind that is really putting it out there. There's some kind of subconscious belief, and a lot of times this is passed down generationally. You know, what we think is possible happens a lot generationally. Like you'll even see like families that are like wealthy or that are whatever, like they tend to, even the kids, regardless of whether they have skills or whether they're talented or whether they're whatever, they just assume they're going to succeed, and typically they do to some degree. It's part of their belief system, and it exists in their subconscious. But if you have experienced the opposite, then right, you're probably going to have opposite things happening in your subconscious that will continuously kind of show you the same thing. So it's really important to let our subconscious thoughts free into our conscious mind so that we can release them. And in order to do that, you have to clear your conscious mind to make space for the subconscious thoughts to come into it, right? We always have to clear space to make change. It's like kind of the first, like if you're feeling like crap about yourself, and then, or about your life, or you're just down in the dumps and you just don't have any money to spend, the best thing in the world you can do is clean out your closets, because it frees up like energy for living. It frees up space to invite new things into your life. It inspires you, and the things that are left all bring you joy. And so it automatically, like opening the door to your closet, fills you with a sense of happiness, and it fills you with a sense of accomplishment, and it's free. It doesn't require money. And if you donate those things, whether, however, amazing or not amazing they are, it will give you a sense of community. It will give you a sense of belonging. It will give you a sense of having done something for someone else. And do you know what else it gives you the sense of? That you have more than enough, that you have enough that you can also donate. And so it is one of the literal best things that you can do. I've always found that. But anyway, I don't know why I'm going off on all of these tangents today, or it feels like it, but I don't know. There's always a reason for everything I don't question anything anymore. I just say what comes, okay? So then you have this energy with this Ace of Cups and this Lover's energy that came out, spinning, and sort of ended up in a more of an inverted point of view. So for me, this is a new beginning in love that hasn't really come yet, hasn't really shown up yet. It may be because someone is cleaning out the closet of their mind, or really revamping, or making, allowing their subconscious thoughts to come into their conscious mind to be released. These things that are not in alignment with this new beginning, or this choice, or this soulmate connection. This person may also be healing some kind of wounding that continuously puts them in this cycle of running from a connection or feeling overwhelmed, probably with their own thoughts, as we can see here, all of these swords. It can also be something that we are releasing within ourselves so that this can come toward us, this new opportunity, this new beginning. Wow. So you have the Five of Swords again on the bottom of the deck. You have the Five of Swords here too, or here. Yeah, Five of Swords. Yeah, the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords is a gnarly combination. It's just, it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. And it's really out of alignment thinking that makes us more confused and takes us further away from the answer than closer to it. Because when you're misaligned, your thoughts start supporting that misalignment. You'll see this in people if you're really paying attention. Like, if someone said, like, let's say someone says, I don't even know. I'm just going to use the flat earth, okay? Someone says the earth is flat, and they really believe this, and they're really passionate, and they're really defending it, and they're out on their soapbox, spewing this stuff and talking about flat earth and blah, blah, blah. And then someone disproves it. This isn't in alignment with what they believe and how they feel about themselves, or what they want to believe about themselves, which is that they are very smart, and they may be smarter than other people. I mean, like, whatever their thought about themselves is. And so that what the truth is out of alignment, or like what this person actually wants to be, which is like smart and revered for their intelligence, is out of alignment with their way of thinking and with what they've been saying. And instead of saying, oh, I was wrong, the earth is round, it's been proven to me, and I'm smart enough and wise enough to see the truth when I see it, you know, and it's okay to be wrong. Really intelligent people know that you're wrong a lot, and that being wrong is awesome because it gets you closer to right. You know, you, like any kind of scientist, any kind of anything. Even one of my friend's moms growing up was an author, a writer, and she told me that with her first book, she put it out to all these publishers, and all these publishers were like, nope, 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 nope. She got so many rejection letters. And she said that another author that she had met at this like really intense, like it's called Bread or something like that. I don't know. It's like this thing that authors go to and they meet each other and they read each other's work. It's a kind of a big deal. And she got invited to it, or she went to it or whatever. One of the people there told her that when you get a rejection letter, you should look at it as, this is one step closer to my yes. And that every rejection letter is just one more thing you don't have to worry about, like that wasn't the one for you, you know, and it's taking you closer to the yes. And she got the yes, and she got lots of yeses, but she always like would tell us that story. And you know, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but you know, you can say like, I was wrong, or yeah, I got rejected 100 times before I got a yes. You know, in being rejected is only a slight to our ego if we allow it to be. You know, if we take on that energy of like, that makes me look bad, or that makes me look less than perfect, or whatever. But what you'll see is when someone is prioritizing like being perfect or never being wrong or whatever, or subscribing to this idea they have of themselves and who they are in their own head, then anything that's not in alignment with that, they'll keep they'll double down on their belief system instead of saying, oh yeah, I was wrong. And that's when you see the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, because it's taking them deeper into a place of confusion. It's taking them even further away from alignment. And people will get way out there, way out there. We see it happen all the time. And so we see that potential here with this person. However, with the moon in reverse, and there's an opportunity here for this person to really have a revelation, have this come to light within themselves and really see it very clearly. And with the 2 of Pentacles here, I feel that this is an energy of where someone's understanding that they go back and forth, or like sometimes they're showing up and sometimes they're leaving. And when they're leaving, it's because they're really allowing their mind to go down a bad path, a path that's not in alignment with what they really want. And so if this is someone who really wants a relationship or really wants a connection, and they're allowing their mind to go down this path of that is self-sabotaging, or that is not supportive of the connection, or that is, you know, really taking them to a space of mental overwhelm that they really have to unplug, you know, so they don't burn out or, you know, explode sort of. It keeps them in this back and forth energy of, you know, having to go away to calm this down. And so they're realizing the part of themselves that is not in alignment with what they want is this thinking, is this overthinking, is this way of thinking, is this way of being, or giving into these thoughts and following them down, or not just admitting, hey, I'm starting to have these thoughts, can you reassure me? Or, you know, like, let's talk about it. Because with all these swords in reverse, this person's keeping this inside. They're keeping it to themselves. They're not sharing it. They're not putting it out there. It's not something where they can have a conversation with you and you can say to them, oh yeah, you know, that's no big deal. Or, oh yeah, I was standoffish that day, but it had nothing to do with you. My mind was on something that happened at work that was really upsetting. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, the smallest thing can take someone who has an avoidant type connection or attachment style very far away from from reality or from, you know, what you mean. And you will not even know what it is that did it. You will not even know, because they didn't talk about it, because they didn't say anything. So this is someone that's got to figure out a different way of managing themselves and their thoughts. And so sometimes that is like, hey, let me put it out there and just see what it is, like, what, you know, if I'm going down a tangent or if there's something here and we can talk through it. So with the 6, I keep doing that with the Lovers and the Ace of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles here. This is like where we're acknowledging and we're knowing that it takes a lot of hard work to make a relationship work. It doesn't just take having a soulmate show up, and it doesn't just take choosing the other one, and it doesn't just take having a divinely given opportunity in love. And Ace is potential. It's you know, yeah, there is potential here in this connection, or yeah, there's potential in this relationship, and I see it, and I feel like we're soulmates, and I feel like this is a deeper level thing. But there is no substitution for work. And so if this is a past person coming back around and their thoughts and their overthinking has gotten the better of them, but they're able to communicate it now, they're able to talk about it, they're able to say, yeah, my mind really gets the best of me, and I'm figuring out that instead of just going down the tangent with my mind, if I talk about it, maybe that will help. Maybe that, you know, we could work through this, or, you know, letting you know something is going to help the situation. Or this can be where someone's realizing that their own thoughts make them, you know, it's like I may manifest something really positive or attract something very positive for a week. You know, I may be very dedicated to affirmations or mantras or this or that for a week. But if something doesn't show up in a week's time, I give up. And then I take 2 steps backward, and then I go back into this way of thinking that, you know, my karma's just bad in this life, and that, you know, this is just the way it's always going to be no matter what I do. In which case, this is saying, you know, there's another choice that you can make rather than all of these swords. You know, it's coming from a way of thinking. That's what's keeping you from what it is that you really want. With the Fool card here, it's like letting go of all of that is going to free up the energy. All right, I'm going to do one more round here, Pisces. I don't know. I've gone on a million tangents. You're going to have to let me know if this reading resonates, or if any of these things that I've been saying are like pertinent to you. You have the Hierophant with the Hangman and the Queen of Cups coming out here. This is intense because this really is our opportunity to have a commitment here with the Hierophant and with the Hangman. And it is this empowered energy of, I have looked back on the past. I am seeing it a new way. I have this wisdom. I am integrating it. I am putting it into practice. You know, not only have I learned the spiritual lessons, but I'm implementing it in my life. You know, and with the Queen of Cups, this is where we have this opportunity to love and be loved fully and unconditionally. The Hermit on the bottom of the deck, I mean, with the Hermit, the Hierophant here, this is like, you may have gone on a solo journey, or this may be your person's energy where they have pulled their energy back and they have gone down this journey where they have really been focused on what it is that I want. And if this is what I want, what do I have to overcome within myself? You know, what is it that is preventing me from having this? And it may be, you know, I've got to do this deep dive on my past and looking at how my past has affected me and how it has kept me from being able to be whole and be committed and show up for my relationships. And with the Queen of Cups, it's like those things create barriers within us. That prevent us from being able to receive love completely and give love completely. So let me, and so it's kind of like, this is what I have to do in order to have what it is I really want, which is to love and be loved. Yeah, so you have these 2 twos here. Wow, and you have the 2 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So 3 twos here to end out your reading. The High Priestess, the 2 of Swords, clarifying the Hierophant and the Hanged Man. this is about, you know, our whole, how we kind of are holding ourselves back, how we aren't fully able to open up our heart or to even open up our vision to see what's really there when we're in this energy of our mental body, when we are letting our mental body sort of own and control us and direct us. With the High Priestess, this is obviously where we're opening up to our intuition, where we are in our highest and best. We're tapping into our own like knowledge that is already there, you know, that is, you know, in our highest and best good. It really, our intuition is never going to take us down the wrong path. If we're truly listening to our intuition, we're going to stay on path, and we're going to be operating in our highest and best. We're going to be making decisions and choices with these 3 twos that reflect that we are in this elevated place. You know, so this could be someone who's making a decision here, Pisces, to come back in, but come back in a new way. This could be you and you having a new approach to relationships where you are writing in permanent marker, never again. I'm not going down a bad path with people who show me that they are missing core things that are critical and important to being in a partnership. I'm not doing that again. With the 2 of Wands, this is a line in the sand of, you know, where we're going is different than where we have been because we have made a very important choice. With the Queen of Cups, with the King of Wands and the 6 of Wands, this is saying my priority, what I want more than anything is unconditional love, to unconditionally love and to be unconditionally loved. This is what I want. My want is powerful. It's driving my actions and it's taking me to success. I will ultimately succeed when my focus is on this and I'm putting all of my action, all of my will, all of my energy to it. The King of Wands always gets what he wants. He knows what he wants and he gets what he wants. And if the Queen of Cups is what you want, unconditional love, to receive love and to give love, if you never give up and you pursue it passionately, it will be yours. You will have victory. So, all right, let me get you some message cards here, Pisces. What a reading. I don't know. You guys better leave me some comments. All right. If you're dealing with a water sign, I can't get enough of you. I'm not financially stable. I want you back. I have trouble with intimacy. Financial challenges are affecting the connection. I do love you. One person is giving too much in this relationship. Your true love is already part of your life. If you are, dealing with a fire sign, I want to feel that way again. This person is in your life to teach you a spiritual lesson. Will you ever make things right? I don't know what you want. You are the best thing in my life, and radical acceptance and surrender can help you let go. All right, if you're dealing with an earth sign, oh my goodness. The cards are falling. I can't stop thinking about you. I want to start over. I wish we could go back. We need to let each other go. I am in a committed relationship. If you are dealing with an air sign, and we had a flipper. I saw it happen. There it is. All right, if you're in an air sign, if you're dealing with an air sign, I find you so attractive. You already know the answer you seek. You broke my heart. I wonder if you are happy without me. I am not over you, and I knew exactly what I was doing. Guys, I hope this helps. I hope this brought you some peace and clarity. I hope it made sense. And I hope it came full circle at some point. If it did, let me know. Please, please, please. All right. And gosh, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for your support on my channel. If you think you're a subscriber, you might want to check and see if you are still subscribed. I've heard that people are getting unsubscribed from lots of channels right now. And gosh, guys, until next time, as always, I send you off with all my very, very best. Bye-bye.